Today we will start the chapter 13 of your book, that is sound. In this chapter we will discuss what is sound, how it is produced, how it travels from one object to another, medium is required for sound or not, and the various kind of source of sounds by which we use various method in the production of it. Before that, bache, first we'll discuss the introduction of it. You must have heard a various kind of sounds around yourself. For example, the chirping of birds, the roaring of lion, my voice, your father's voice, a singer's voice. All these voices are different and you can be easily distinguish them, and that is what the sound is. Sound is actually a form of energy which enables us to hear. Sound एक वो form of energy है जिसकी वजह से हम चीजों को सुन सकते हैं. That form of energy is known as sound. So, sound is a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing in our ears. That is known as sound. Sound is always produced by a vibrating object. In fact, you can say sound is vibrations. Sound exists in the form of vibrations. So, here first we'll discuss what is a vibration. Vibration is, it is a rapid back and forth movement. For example, this is my hand, bache. When it vibrates, when it do a rapid back and forth movement, आगे पीछे back and forth movement जब ये करेगा, that is referred as a vibration. So a rapid back and forth movement of an object about its mean position. What do you mean by mean position? Bache, the center position. Then from this mean position, this center position, it goes back and forth, back and forth. So this back and forth movement of an object around its mean position is known as vibration. So this is the cause of production of sound. Here, bache, we'll discuss a device which is known as tuning fork. This device is known as tuning fork, bache. This tuning fork is basically made up of a metal. It's a U-shaped fork which is present in your physics laboratory. When bache, we push these prongs, these are referred as prongs, inward, then this fork will start to vibrate. It will goes outside and then other time it will come inward. This is the mean position, bache. If we give a stretch to it and then leave it. अगर हम बच्चे इस prong को खोल कर और छोड़ दें तो क्या करेंगे prongs? They'll do back and forth movement like this. This will produce vibrations, and these vibrations will produce a sound. So, what is a sound? It is a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing in our ears, and it travels, it produced in the form of vibrations. And what are the vibrations? Vibrations are the rapid or quick back and forth movement of an object about its mean position. Now, bache, we will discuss an activity by which we can prove that vibrations produce a sound. This activity, you require cardboard or a thermocol sheet. On these two ends, you have to fix two iron nails, and over those iron nails, you have to place a rubber band like this, which I am showing you in this video. Then, bache, what you have to do is, you have to pluck the one end. When we pluck the one end, you will hear a sound. So, this will prove that whensoever this rubber band moves back and forth from its mean position, जब ये अपनी position से back and forth move कर रहा है, then it produces a sound. So by this activity we can conclude that vibrations are the reason behind the sound. Now we'll discuss bache how sound travels. That how sound produced from one end will goes to another end. Sound travels in the form of energy. As we had discussed, sound is a form of energy. The vibrations which are produced in sound are traveled in the form of air molecules. Let us consider this is a tuning fork. Tuning fork is at rest. We are not giving it for producing the vibrations. Here these are certain air molecules. हम मान लेते हैं बच्चे ये एक ट्यूनिंग फॉर्क है और ये इसके सामने के एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं. अगर आप ध्यान दें तो दे आर ऑलमोस्ट प्रेजेंट एट इक्वल गैप. व्हेन वी गिव इन स्ट्रोक, दिस इज इन स्ट्रोक ऑफ प्रॉम्स. मैंने क्या किया बच्चे, इस ट्यूनिंग फॉर्क को ऊपर से दबा दिया एंड व्हेन आई लीव इट, what will happen? It will start to produce vibration. When I give it in stroke, these air molecules will increase their gap. इनके बीच का गैप क्या हो जाएगा बच्चे? पहले से बढ़ जाएगा. And when it comes outward, as बच्चे वाइब्रेशन होगी तो ये पहले अंदर जाएगा तो फिर बाहर आएगा, अंदर जाएगा फिर बाहर आएगा. When this occurs, the air gap between the particles decreases. Now, this molecule gives the energy to this one will give to the next, and this one will give to the next. And this energy is passed on to air molecules. And this is the reason why we can be able to hear the sounds of a teacher in a class sometimes clearly and sometimes don't. If I start to whisper, if I lower down my voice, then you won't be able to hear it. अगर मैं अपनी आवाज लोअर डाउन कर देता हूं तो आपको वो आवाज क्लियरली सुनाई नहीं दे रही. Why? Because बच्चे, the energy of my sound is less when I am speaking too low, when I am producing a feeble sound. So energy will be finished here only, and the ear which is present at this place cannot be able to hear. So for that, I have to give large energy, more amount of energy to that. This is the reason behind the traveling of sound. In sound, the molecules transfer the energy from one to another, and by this transfer of energy, the sound travels from the production of it to the person, to the object which is hearing. In our usual life, we use the mics, the microphones to enhance the sound, to increase the sound, to amplify the sound energy. So that's how the sound travels. Sound travels from one part to another by the energy transfer between the molecules of the medium. Now we'll discuss bache. Sound needs a medium to travel. Sound बिना मीडियम के ट्रेवल नहीं हो सकता. In this बच्चे, first we'll discuss what is a medium. Any substance or matter through which sound travels from its producer to its listener, from the production source to its listener, that substance, that medium is known as matter. So that material through which the sound travels is known as a medium बच्चे. Next बच्चे, you must have heard the school bell. Whenever school bell rang, the sound, the vibration from that bell reaches to our ears through air. Bell बच्चे बहुत दूर होती है कभी कभी और हमें साफ सुनाई देती है. क्यों? Because बच्चे, the vibrations which are produced by that source, that is school bell, will travel through a medium that is air and reaches to our ears. If बच्चे, you placed your ear very closely to a board and someone at the other end will click over it, then we can easily hear that sound. Why? Because through solids, sound can travel very easily. The example of the liquid as well is very easy. You must have seen the squeezy toys. आपने वो टॉयज देखे होंगे बच्चे जिनको हम दबाते हैं तो एक साउंड आता है, एक whistling साउंड आता है. If you take that squeezy toy and place it in water and squeeze it, you will easily hear the sound. आप आसानी से उस साउंड को सुन पाते हैं बच्चे. Why? Because sound can easily travel through air, through liquid and through solids. So sound can easily travel through the three media, that is solids, liquids and gases. Next बच्चे, we cannot be able to hear the sound on the moon. The astronauts which travels the moon, which goes to the moon, cannot be hear their sounds. Why? Because there is no medium present on the moon. There is no air present on the moon. That means there is all vacuum over there. And sound needs a medium to travel. जब बच्चे मून पर कोई मीडियम है ही नहीं, कोई एयर या कोई गैसेस है ही नहीं, तो साउंड ट्रेवल नहीं होगा. और साउंड ट्रेवल नहीं होगा तो एक एस्ट्रोनॉट दूसरे की बात नहीं सुन पाएगा. सो फॉर दैट दे यूज स्पेशल रेडियो सेट्स which works on radio waves. Radio waves are the type of wave energy which do not require any medium to travel. रेडियो वेव्स वो वेव्स हैं बच्चों जिन्हें ट्रैवल होने के लिए किसी भी तरह के मीडियम की जरूरत नहीं है. सो बच्चे दे यूज अ स्पेशलाइज्ड सेट्स, रेडियो सेट्स which works on radio waves. So the astronauts require special waves for hear their sounds, and those waves are referred as the radio waves. And why they cannot be hear the sounds on the moon? Because there is no medium present on the moon. Hello students, in this video we will discuss the speed of sound. Sound travels with different speeds in different media. There are three kinds of media through which sound can travel. The first one is solid, the other one is liquid, and the last one is gases. Without these medias, it is impossible for sound to travel, to propagate from one place to another. बिना इन तीन मीडिया के बच्चों साउंड एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा ही नहीं सकता. In our previous video, we had discussed बच्चे why an astronaut cannot be able to hear the other astronaut's voice over moon. Because there is no atmosphere present over the moon, and sound needs a medium to travel. So these three media may be either solid, liquid or gases. There are certain factors on which the traveling of sound waves depend upon the medium, and those factors are, the first one is nature of the medium. Nature means whether that medium is allow the sound to pass through it or not. Second, density of the medium. Density means mass per unit volume of a substance is known as density. एक given unit volume में किसी भी substance का कितना mass cover up होगा, that is known as its density. Solids have more density. In solids, the speed of sound is more. Liquids have lesser density as compared to solids, so speed of sound in the liquids is slower as compared to the solids. And the gases have minimum density, so the speed of sound in gases is minimum. बच्चे solids की density सबसे ज्यादा होती है, तो उसमें speed of sound सबसे तेज है. Sound travels the fastest in the solids, whereas the density of the liquids is lesser as compared to solids. So speed of sound in liquids is slower, whereas the gases have minimum density, so the speed of sound in the gases is slowest, is the minimum. For example, बच्चे, in steel, the speed of sound is 5,960 meter per second, or you can say 5.9 kilometer per second. In water, in pure water, the speed of sound is approximately 1500 meter per second, or you can say more appropriately 1498 meter per second. or you can say 1.5 kilometer per second. Whereas the speed of sound in gases, in air, is 340 meter per second. So the speed of sound in the gases is slowest, in the air is the slowest. Next thing, bache, the third factor is the atmospheric conditions, the conditions around the object, around the source of sound. Those conditions will also affect the speed of sound, and those conditions are temperature. If we increase the temperature, the speed of sound increases. If we decrease the temperature, the speed of sound decreases. Pressure, atmospheric pressure, the pressure exerted by the atmosphere on the objects present on the earth is known as atmospheric pressure. And this pressure will affect the speed of sound. The last one is humidity. What is humidity? First of all, the amount of water vapors present in the air is known as humidity at a given place. Humidity क्या है बच्चे? इसे आर्द्रता बोलते हैं हिंदी में. एयर में कितने वाटर वेपर्स का अमाउंट प्रेजेंट है, दैट इज नोन एज ह्यूमिडिटी. एंड ह्यूमिडिटी अफेक्ट्स द साउंड वेव बिकॉज humidity is more in air, that means the density of air is more, and if less humidity is there in air, the density of air is less. So these are the factors on which the speed of sound depends. So bache, now we will study a very important question that will come in your next class as well, and that is included in this class as well, and that is why during a thunderstorm thunder is heard after the seeing of lightning. During a thunderstorm, bache, you must have heard the thunder as well as seen the lightning in the sky. बच्चे आपने देखा होगा बिजली कड़कती भी है और उसकी आवाज भी आती है. But what actually happens, we first see the lightning, the flash of lightning appears to us first, and then we heard the thunder later on. उस दौरान क्या होता है बच्चे, हम पहले लाइटनिंग देख लेते हैं और फिर लाइटनिंग बंद होने के कुछ देर बाद उसकी आवाज आती है. That is because of the speed of sound and speed of light is different. The speed of light in air or vacuum is 30 crores meter per second, or you can say 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Whereas the speed of sound in air is 340 meter per second only. So bache, you can see the difference. The light travels way too fast as compared to the sound in or through air. इससे हम देख सकते हैं बच्चे कि लाइट जो है वो बहुत तेजी से ट्रेवल करती है, जबकि साउंड इतनी तेजी से ट्रेवल नहीं करता. तो बच्चे हमें केस मान रहे हैं कि लाइटनिंग यहां पे, लाइट तो बहुत तेजी से हमारी आईज में पहले आ जाएगी. जो लाइट है बच्चे यहां से आनी है वो पहले हमारी आईज में आ जाएगी, बट साउंड धीरे धीरे आ रहा है, तो उसे आने में क्या लगेगा बच्चे, टाइम लग जाएगा. सो वी फर्स्ट सी द लाइटनिंग, वी सी द फ्लैश ऑफ लाइटनिंग बिकॉज वो तो तेजी से आईज में आ गई, और बच्चे साउंड ने कानों में आना है, तो साउंड को आने में टाइम लगेगा. इट विल टेक टाइम बिकॉज द स्पीड ऑफ साउंड इज वेरी लेस एज कंपेयर टू स्पीड ऑफ लाइट. So light reaches our eyes much more faster, much more rapidly as compared to the sound. That is why we see the flash of lightning before the sound of thunder reaches our ears.